Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45.
This is the DOD45 Show, drawing over discussions 45 minutes with a special guest. Welcome. I'm your host and resident artist, Tai of ArtByTai, and with my co-host, Adrienne Taeoalii, we're having conversations with people who I admire and am inspired by. On this episode, I'll set a 45-minute timer, put my pen to the paper, and we'll learn about our guest through an interview-style discussion. So stay right here with us to experience some laughs and maybe even learn a thing or two.
DOD45.
Hello, Earthlings.
People of Earth.
My fellow humans.
How are you?
Hello, Adrienne.
Yo, Adrienne, we did it.
Welcome to the DOD45, where you can watch me, the DOD45 Show, where you can watch me draw. Well, we have a discussion with a special guest. Thank you for joining us today. It's our 100th episred.
It's amazing you've gotten me out here 100 times.
And you never dare to say it, but I feel like you probably enjoy it on some weird level. 100 episodes, and we're still
Married.
Oh, geez, don't say stuff like that. That makes people wonder. No. So yes, 100 episodes. Haven't figured out the air correctly. It's a constant trying to discover stuff. I still haven't been able to completely eliminate my uhs, but I'm definitely work on it. Just know when I'm talking, I'm also on one part of my head saying, don't do the don't do don't do Anyway, 100 episodes. Yay! Yeah, cool, right? Yes, 100 episodes.
Ascent.
Okay, well, listen, finally, 100 episodes, and we're just ready to roll. By the way, I've said it's our 100th episode about 20 times, which is a really rad thing, but we're not going to sit here and make a big deal about it and pat ourselves on the back and congratulate ourselves. But we are going to give ourselves a gift for the accomplishment. Mm. And our gift is our guest. Our guest today is North American Adonis.
Rebel without a car, heavy metal, loud guitar, dancing with the red-faced devil. How bizarre, plug it to the power bar, add on, macro bank, museum. Artistic freedom is sacrosanct, backed and flanked, photographed, interviewed, don't be rude. I'll rap over your interlude, amplitude, pilloried, artillery filled. Sharpen the blade cause it's kill or be killed.
That's Buck 65, Doseone, and Gel. All three of who have been on our show. All three, would you say that? All three of who? All three of which have been on our show.
Maybe.
Well, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, there's my theme song.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll play a theme song every time. Seriously,
I'll make it.
Make a little jingle, and every time I say it doesn't matter, I'll insert it in.
Playhouse. Magic word. Or what was it? A magic word.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, when Pee Wee would say. Okay, well we're not gonna use any of this. I do like the idea of playing a sound though when I say that.
Yeah, that's not happening. We don't need more theme music.
Do you know what an Adonis is? I asked you this the other day, and I think you had the answer.
Yeah, I said it was a monster, a cryptid.
I'm gonna give
But I said it in different words. But I think it's a Greek mythological creature.
Yeah.
Goddess.
In Greek mythology,
or god.
Adonis was the god of beauty and desire. He was eternally young and the lover of Aphrodite, but he was killed by a wild boar while hunting. The Greeks, they had some pretty bizarre, what do you say, like
gods?
Stories or what? Yeah, I don't know who came up with them. But anyway, Zeus ordered that Adonis spend half of each year in the underworld with Persephone and half with Aphrodite. So the myth of Adonis's death and resurrection represents the decay of nature in the winter and its revival in the spring. So it's a lot of metaphors, right? The Greek mythology thing.
Yeah.
Or do people actually? Is that
No, they believed it.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, so here, this is what I've learned about Adonis. Modern scholars believe that Adonis may have originated as an ancient spirit of vegetation. I guess because of winter, because... fuck, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The term Adonis can also be used to describe a very handsome young man. All three of these guys are especially handsome.
And very young.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yep. Okay, well, quick shout out to some of our affiliates like Hob Sauce, Handsmade Collective, Growhaven, Speakerface, Brand of the World, and of course, Strange Famous Records. We have some good people as friends, and I just want, at the top of the, I'm just going to do this for a few more episodes, but I just want to give thanks to DJ Zoll for his theme music, for Sage Francis for the Sage's social media alert. Also, thanks to Buddy Peace for the Dish theme music, Mr. Dibbs for the amazing theme music that he put together for our show. 100 episodes of that theme music has ingrained itself into people's memories, and now people sing it. DOD45. Also, great big thanks to Sage Francis for his continued contribution and support of our show. We've been talking about a special Christmas thing. As soon as we got that figured out, but it's gonna be like a game show kind of thing. And then Blackliq's final or last word segment at the end of every episode. I love that. And then also the big thanks to Ceschi for joining us for the song shares. And always a big, huge thank you to all of our guests that's been on the show. All of that stuff. I'm doing that because it's our 100th episode, and so I just want to stay reminding myself that we are fortunate that we've made these friendships with people, and that people are helping us out and continuing to make the show. Oh, I realized something this morning. It was just a thought, and I just wanted to write it down, so I was going to share it with you. My use of pop culture imagery in my artwork. We've talked about that before, about using it as it's almost like, or even doing my pieces of things that exist already. Like I do my version of The Last Supper and stuff like that. It's similar. I was feeling like it's similar to hip hop musicians using samples in their songs, because familiarity to the audience is a great tool for artists. And that came to mind because I had read Buck65 Substack about the pressing plants flagging stuff with samples in it. I'm going to ask him about that later on, so we'll leave it at that. But I don't know. That was just a thought that I had. It's kind of the same. Do you agree? Or
yeah, I mean, people flock to what they know.
But yeah, well, yeah. Shoot, I'll save that. My brain is bouncing all over the place. I really try not to judge people on appearance, but I just have to state this before I ask Adrienne a question. If you wear aviators while you're working out or while you're running, or if you're actually wearing aviators, then I definitely have formed an opinion about you.
Okay.
Who wears that wearing aviators?
Maybe it was the only sunglasses they could find.
Actually, I think he when I saw him, he was running. I thought, well, yeah. All right, Adrienne, what meal are you best at making?
That should be a question for you to answer.
But no, for the audience, for people that don't know, Adrienne cooks our meals, our dinners.
Sunday dinner.
But
I get a Sunday.
What specific like do you feel like, oh, that's the dish that I make that I'm really
probably soups. I can whip out a soup over it, like any kind of soup, with almost no ingredients.
Well, it was just the other day. We have tomatoes, a whole bunch. Like our tomatoes took off, and you were cooking them in the oven. What were you making?
Spaghetti sauce.
Smelled delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're crafty. You're a crafty meal maker.
Well, thanks. I am. I do know how to utilize ingredients.
I bet people would be so surprised by the meals, like, because you make all vegan. Not vegan, mostly vegan meals.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people would be very surprised to taste what you make.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about you?
That's why we don't get invited to Thanksgiving anymore.
Oh, speaking of, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So,
Oh, man.
yeah, wild, right?
November?
Yep, wild. Don't think too far ahead of it because when we're recording this, it's not quite. But yep, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. What are you hoping to make for Thanksgiving?
Make like a turkey and run out of there.
A fake turkey?
I'm hoping to make like a turkey and run out of there.
Make like a tree and leave. What about?
It's leaf.
I know but
I finally, after like 30 years, I finally understood that joke.
Well, which part? The one that they use in Back to the Future? Because in Back to the Future, he says, "Make like a tree and get out of here."
Yeah.
It's the joke is he's so dumb he's telling the joke wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I never understood it.
You're like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
I guess at some point I heard the correct.
Yeah. Okay. When did it become a tough thing to like not enjoy animals and to not like cats and stuff like that?
Oh, well, so is it possible that we like cats because if you get scratched by a cat, they like leave
Marks, yeah, and poisons and all that shit.
some sort of bacteria on you that makes you more sympathetic to them. So we grew up with cats. So maybe the people who don't like them just haven't been scratched by them.
So I'm gonna go around throwing cats on people,
And then they'll
and then they'll enjoy cats
they'll
later.
like the cat. Sympathetic to the cat cause.
Well, there you go. Adrienne's bringing animals into your mind, so be thinking of animals right now. I'm thinking of animals, and tomorrow we'll be cooking
Probably a breast.
giant portions of the country. We will be cooking a turkey.
Of the U.S. Canada has
the
already
US.
had their Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, I am going to ask Buck about that. Okay, well, speaking of Buck, are you good, Adrienne?
Yeah, but I'll probably be making a seitan.
Yeah, you make a really
Today.
good seitan turkey.
Yeah, and I'll probably go down to where's that, Nephi or something?
Yeah,
and
Nephi,
get the
Utah.
Smoked chicken breast.
Yeah, I'll make the turkey. I really enjoy that smoked turkey. That was really good last year.
Just the breast.
So yeah, okay. Let's find. Let's find out about a little bit about our guests. They have all been on the show before, so I've spoke about them. Our guest today is North American Adonis, which is made up of Doseone, Gel, and Buck 65. Like I said, they're all past guests of our show. Here's some Reddit banter regarding these guys, regarding North American Adonis.
Reddit isn't that
a
like
weird
the
place.
scary hole?
Sure,
of
you
the
can go into
internet?
weird holes, but I kind of went into a little one, and here's what I'm just going to mention.
Interesting.
Vaj Rapani at Vaj Rapani posted, "Going down the Doseone rabbit hole is one of the greatest joys in underground hip hop." From Crusades 89, he wrote, "It's been over a decade since I listened to Buck with this OG rapping voice sounding so good in these modern times." And then from Gishlik, he writes, "For Gel, literally anything he's done is a banger."
Wow.
Pretty
very
cool,
nice,
right?
Yeah. Any weird things in there?
No.
I think Reddit's just weird stuff.
Nah, sometimes there are whole pockets of it that's weird, but then there are pockets, Reddit's for things like this North American Adonis album that was made in 1998 and then just barely released. That's prime for a Reddit discussion. Why, when, who heard the first version, etc., etc.
You really think it was made in 98?
Absolutely was. Well, we're going to ask them about it. That's pretty much what the whole episode's going to be about. Let's do a quick rollout of stuff you should look over from each member of NAA. I'm going to call them
18 and 98.
that. I know. So yes, I'm going to call them NAA from here on out.
Okay.
That not NWA.
Yeah, I got it.
So starting with Buck 65, he has scores of music. So I'll just send you back a few of his recent, and then tell you to just go watch our episode with him. All 4 of his dirt bike albums are amazing. In fact, one of his Substack posts, he said 10 years after the first working of North American Adonis in 1998, he, Dose, and Gel joined forces for a song on one of his dirt bike albums.
We're North American men, we hate pity and delicate. This here is the aim for where your chest get hit. On the mania days, the hammer that you hit it with. Hard is what happens, never force your hip. You get your heart snatched for less and the gross ghost throw down to death. And all of them hotel beds you sit atop to sift and set. Sort of part yourself from head, you got your God, I got my pen and the bread. It does become in the skulls of the young.
And that was as close as they ever came to an Adonis reunion. So that was 10 years after the first workings of the 98 one. Obviously, I want you to go back and look at Buck's older music, but in this modern era, he seems to be at his peak creative times. So go get your hands on his album, his 2020 album, produced with Controller 7, called Billy.
Bingo, King Gringo, solitary single, room with no window, involuntary, modern fairy tale, all alone I stand in solidarity, well, volume varies, it's morbid, recorded, I'm being escorted, distorted, sights blurry, dazed eyes, gray skies and light flurries, I fight dirty.
Billy exclamation point. Also King of Drums from 2022.
Modern day romance, snowman, abomination coming with
Super Dope from 2023.
When I rock the mic, I got my shit down pat. I'm rocking on.
Cold wax in the fragments in low fraction. The backslider, Spider-Man climbing up the walls like Bo Jackson. All talk yapping and no action plan. Standing on thin ice with no traction. Solid golden shitty, crappy satellite city. Taxi, complicated, tricky, crafty, coming at it strictly nasty. Playing hustle sports, wearing muscle.
And Punk Rock B-Boy, also from 2023.
I'll take you back to early days of pioneers and ex-vandals. Everywhere illegal drugs, violent gangs and sex scandals. Against the odds and in the ruins, forgotten ones found an oasis. Kool Herc was the one who built the playlist and it made him famous. Rocking records super loud that no one ever hardly saw. Apache and it's just begun. And Melting Pot and Mardi Gras. The system was like Mount Olympus, humongous, and the bass was thumping. B-boys.
I believe he's working on a new album, maybe. So
Wait, Punk Rock B-Boy wasn't from 2024?
No, it was was released on his Bandcamp in 2023. So,
Wow.
yeah.
When did we talk to him?
2024.
Has it been a year?
No,
Oh.
no, 2024. From Gel, co-founder of Anacon, go get your grimy fingers on his 2019 Glass Cutters album. That's an album he did with what did we decide?
Odd Nosdom.
Why did I say old? Odd Nose. Is it Nosdom or Nosdom?
Well, if you ask me, it's Nosdom.
Okay. Well, I've always said Odd Nosdom, but I think it is Odd Nosdom.
Tomato.
I don't even know now. It doesn't matter. Get that album. Glass Cutters, fantastic. Also get Gel's Will Work for Free album. That's album from 2021. Check out his Gel and MAP. That's Mugs and Pockets. He produced their, this EP from 2024.
Then here comes the threshold with every deeping, weaken anomaly, the static, emphatic, repeating doubtfully in the act, hanging up to dry. Somebody like true that, trending in the difficult path, I'm under crew that. Windicles into detecting the breath of a sharing, protecting the consortium, aborted men and women, giving feeling until it's capping out its television and vision.
That's a very interesting collaboration. I think they sound well together. So you should definitely go check that out. And then be sure to go to Gel's Bandcamp and stock up on his whole catalog, because he's got a sound that no other people emulate. So yes, do that, and do that now. Speaking of unemulatable, not a word, but speaking of unemulatable styles, the third of this NAA trio is Doseone. I wholeheartedly agree with Vajrapani. That's the guy I mentioned from Reddit. Take a trip down the Doseone rabbit hole. You will thank me later.
You know, it's funny. I almost always, I'm like, oh, this song will be the song I share. I'll share this one.
And it's always a Dose song.
And so I'm like, I can't share.
Yeah, you
It
can.
can't just be like Dose One.
Yeah, it can be whatever you want. But I do
it's
know
always
what
like a mestizo or a Dose One, and I'm like, oh.
I know. I do understand that because I fall into wanting to share the alpha stuff all the time. Speaking of, all of Dose's solo stuff is incredible. G is for Job is a gigantic treat.
When I was 20, ego faded, a pinch of lazy. Now that I'm plenty backwards, evil faded, and a sick to those who hate me. I got beauty, need this malapicked ice, and things pretended to like, and it tied. Gas cast and marginal, him-hearted.
I call it G for gigantic treat. The Less's orchestra album he did with Alias is nothing short of amazing.
This little rapper is just someone else's exact copy. This little rapper's 98% tattoo, percent mockery. This little rapper defines weak, yet knows no modesty. This little rapper is only in it for the property. And this little rapper 100 miles and running from honesty. This little rapper believes in marketing himself properly. This little rapper...
R.I.P. Alias. I wish we would have had a chance to meet Alias and have him on the show because he produced some really fantastic stuff. There's Themselves. That's Dose and Gel. No bad album exists from them.
Step sequence of Rembrandt. For me, myself, and iPod getting job on the hi-hat and volume knob.
Blues you rob.
You solve hard, you do job. Gel does work, y'all all merch, and the man that just draw 8-inch space dog. We ain't scared of y'all.
Give me ring. Give me middle, or give me thumb. Now give me drum.
Alpha, as I mentioned earlier, that's Dose and Mestizo. In my top favorite duos of all time.
Spiritually, fear, any doubt, death from a never living dead, and announced with dancing with the devil here in city's touch class.
Coming with destined state delicate, ugly, intelligent, violent, liquid, semi-hideous, selfish, hellish, yet perfect, wrong. Womb but can't tell it is wound like a shock to the abdomen. Minimum, absolute, maximum, hazardous, Icarus, Lazarus, maiden, divine.
Then there's Subtle, that's Dose, Gel, and Dax Pearson. His collab with Yoni Wolf and Odd Nosdom with Cloud Dead. Speaking of, we just got to see Yoni and why.
A couple months ago,
yeah. But when we're recording this, just recently at Off Broadway Avenue in St. Louis. They sounded incredible. It was like listening to them in headphones. Like it sounded like they're a well-oiled machine. They're great musicians. So yeah, that was a cool show. I texted Dose that night when we were there. Mm-hmm. I hope I don't text him too much. It's his fault for making such dope music. Cause
dopamine music.
Well, yeah, it's his fault. I can't help myself but reach out to him and congratulate him on stuff. Like when I hear something, I'm like, oh my God. I don't text him like all the time, but I do text him often and tell him, congratulate him on something. Or
I realize why if I reach out to someone and I'm like, hey, who's been on the show or something, and just send, I'm like, because there's the response is very short. and just kind of like, we're breaking the bro code. I'm like, I think that's what's happening.
What is the bro code? Bros don't talk to...
Yeah.
Bros can't talk to you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just put this out there for anyone that's watching the episode.
I'm like, oh, that's because of what, like, you and me and your friends.
Yeah.
Like, your friends used to take me out on dates when you were out of town or whatever.
Yeah, I don't...
But not, like, anything
But you
weird.
thinking maybe that's the case?
But, yeah.
Yeah, we're not swingers, Bob. No, God, no.
No, but like...
Yeah, Adrienne would hang out with...
They would be like, oh, Adrienne's probably...
Yeah.
Oh,
well, okay.
In the waiting room.
Well, so...
Just one. But anyway.
Yeah, anyone out there, if Adrienne reaches out to you, it's not weird for us. It's totally...
But all of your friends, they'll like text me and like, hey, what, but... And then I'll text them or... But it is interesting because you almost never get a text from their wives.
No,
unless it's a birthday
and I
party.
think it would be weird.
But it's just that.
But yeah, if Adrienne's messaging,
that you don't have to.
No.
say that,
I'm just
but,
saying
like,
we're
I'll
not
send
weird
a funny
about it.
thing every once in a while. I wonder if they're like,
No, keep doing it. I think
Don't
people appreciate it. Okay, well, let me finish up this real quick. While you're frolicking in Dose's music, don't forget to collect up his video game soundtracks as well. The amount of music, those video game soundtracks are really fun to listen to, and they sound very much like Dose. So, okay, the amount of music out there between these three legends is unfathomable. Unfathomable.
unadontissable.
Oh, you know what all of that I just said, you know what that all equals to and what it means?
NAA. See? Not just
The first thing is I think that it's safe to call North American Adonis a super group. And the second is we're damn lucky to have him joining us for our 100th episode. Let's wait no longer.
All right.
All right, let's get to, I guess, let's get to. We'll be right back with North American Adonis.
Sometimes you just gotta pull up a chair and listen to the centuries. Listen to the Centurion episode, the 100 episode, the 100. Yo, 2 zeros together, and a North American Adonis. The super group made up of super minds, made up of super talents. You know what I'm saying? It's the legendary Buck 65, the legendary Doseone, the legendary Gel. You know what I'm saying? Wow. North American Adonis, amazing record, amazing posse cut. And today, they're on DOD45 with my man Tai. What's going down, brother man? So check it out, dude. Check it out. Episode 100 with the magnificent. There's words that don't even describe. There's 100 words to describe 1,000 thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. North American Adonis, Buck 65, Doseone, Gel. Enjoy this episode. This is your friend Awol One, and we are having a good day today.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45.
Wow. Adonis is the most appropriate name for this bunch. Some handsome gentlemen here, folks. A perfect example of why you should watch the visual versions of our show on YouTube, so you can see all of these faces and all of these great glasses. Yes. Minus one.
Fashion show.
I didn't know we had. Oh shit!
Get that glasses, Jeff. Or the wool hat.
You know me. You know me. I'm always there sometimes.
We got glasses in hand. It's there.
There he is.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Coming in hard.
Well, people, welcome to the DOD45 Show. Thank you all for joining us again. For the next 45 minutes, I'm going to draw you guys a picture, and we'll chop it up. The theme of the drawing is based on your guys' monikers. So it's a buck with a blotter dose on its tongue, clenching a jelly fish. I'll sprinkle in some other things here throughout. Does anyone have any thoughts on the concept?
Can a jellyfish have a huge penis?
Yes, I can make that happen.
Dibbs? Is that the Dibbs part?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what. Yep, I'm gonna actually work that in somehow.
Can you make Dibbs really, really little and on the record?
I could possibly. Yeah, I could do that because there is a little record up in there.
Yeah.
Before I start the timer, I want to know: is it Adonis, in that you're a group of handsome blokes, or is it the Greek Adonis, or neither?
Oh, I guess originally
How did this even
joke about being handsome, but I don't think it wasn't like, here's the handsome, hit you with the handsome stuff.
Yeah, right. That's the funny thing about talking about a project that we started decades ago. I don't remember anything. How did we get here?
When I listened to it, I was like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
I think it was just a title that y'all came up with, and we just went with it. I think,
Yeah, maybe.
I've been calling it NAA. I'm sure other people do that.
I call it nah.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, I guess it's coming up. I guess you guys came up with that 1998.
Maybe earlier. Buck and I were on the phone, if you remember those, the old phone, and we would talk every once in a while, and then we talked about doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I heard the Sebitones was Dibbs played it for me like a nice bully. He was like, "You're gonna fucking like this." I was like, "Holy shit!" On B-Boy Underground, his radio show. And then after that, I got Vertex, and it was game over.
Yeah, we heard the hell out of those tapes. We dubbed that so many times, Rich. You don't even know. A lot of bootlegs of Vertex rolling around.
I like that.
We called that distribution back then, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Necessarily a bootleg.
And the more degraded it sounds, the better, I find. So it kind of benefits from being, a dub of a dub of a dub.
The warm tape sound, of course.
But when I was a kid, that's how I listened to hip hop almost exclusively, because people would come back, from trips to New York with tapes of like Red Alert radio shows, and then everyone would dub it, and then you dub your friend's dub, and it would just degrade more and more. And in my mind, in a way, that's how it's supposed to sound, how hip hop is supposed to sound, just like 10th generation tape with all the crap and distortion and whatever that comes with it. I was very, very close to doing that to my King of Drums album.
Oh.
Just like finishing it and then recording it onto a cassette and then re-putting it into the computer from this really super shitty $25 Radio Shack tape deck. I chickened out at the last minute, but I almost did that. Just made it sound super crappy.
You should have just done it for like a one-off, though. You should have had it like maybe not release it like that, but have it for later.
I actually did. So I dubbed maybe 3, and I sold 1.
Oh, wow.
To a guy. And there was another one I just intended to send to a friend, which is still sitting on a table over there. And then one I just sort of stashed away in a cupboard for my own archives. But yeah, I like when shit sounds crappy.
I think there were songs like Candy Peach Fuzz, because I had that, the record didn't come out, but the 12-inch came out, and I would hand dub that from a shitty dub onto everything I would dub because I liked it so much. So every time I would do that, it would just be fucking worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I like doing that with video.
Yeah, right.
Over the Terminator with Terminator 2.
Oh, I'm gonna start the timer and start drawing because I promise you guys I won't hold you like last time we held Buck hostage for 4.5 hours.
Hey, look, that's why I got raisins and a big jug of water here, a comfortable seat. I'm prepared, man. That's why I kicked everyone out of the house. Like I could be here all night, so I'm ready.
even when I was messaging with our special guest drop in later on, I mentioned to him, "Okay, this is we do have to end the thing," so he will be dropping in at some point. So okay, I
hope it's Steve Harvey.
It is, and we're going to be playing a game show.
Steve Harvey Oswald.
Okay, timer is set. Well, I like to start the episodes with an arc for our discussion. For each of you, where do the bulk of your childhood memories take place? And as a follow-up, where did you each first meet each other?
Roger that.
Childhood memories first, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me pretty much either in Bolingbrook, Illinois, at a townhome that I lived in, public pool, summertime, or Detroit, Michigan, because I go there every summer as well, and just hang out with my cousins and collect pop cans and sell them for cookies, or trade them in and then get cookies with the pop can money. It's, you know, Detroit, Michigan, 10 cents a can.
I think
Whoa.
they still do that.
For 10 cents a can, that's a good. They don't still do 10 cents a can, do
I
they?
think so, yeah, yeah.
Our booth neighbor, when we were just there 2 weeks ago, our booth neighbor was collecting cans.
Were the cookies aluminum? Did they recycle the cans and then make aluminum cookies for the children, or was it?
I think that's because we used to go to this one little liquor store, and yeah, they just we'd give them the cans and then they give us the money.
Alcoholic cookies or non-alcoholic?
Yeah, we would buy these tin cookies. It was the only thing we could eat back then, you know, because we had a limited budget. Luckily, I didn't get any kind of lead poisoning. I'm doing good. Oh, and then when I met Dose through Dibbs in Cincinnati, probably 97 or 98.
Sounds right, 97.
And then I think the first time I met Rich was probably in Cincinnati too, like at a Scribble Jam.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where everybody seemed to meet.
Yeah.
Wait, did you when we did Adonis, dude?
That might have been, yeah.
Wow.
Is that because that was the first Scribble you did, wasn't it, Rich? Or am I on drugs?
I believe so. It's a little hazy. If it wasn't the first, it was the second. You know, one of the two. So it was in there. So I probably the first though.
Yeah, it might have been at your apartment when we were working.
We all met for the first time when we started this record.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
No, not me and you. Well, I met you way before that.
Yeah, sorry, but the three of us as a unit,
yeah, right.
hadn't met Rich prior either. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think that is right. So for me, that answers the second half of the question. We all got together at the apartment where, Adam was living with Yoni, right?
Yeah, apartment A. All the Cloud Dead stuff was recorded there. A lot of shit. Purple in the Ceiling, Bread Pipe, Slumlord, Styles.
I slept on the floor for however many days that was, and there was like a million.
Sanitary.
There were a million issues, copies of The Onion, and I used those to keep warm.
And that was dinner also.
Yeah, that's right. And I grew up in small town, rural Nova Scotia on the east coast of Canada, and didn't leave that town much. And when I say rural, the road that I grew up on, which was a dirt road, was just kind of cut through the woods. So I basically lived in the woods. And that's kind of where I went for fun, mostly with my friends, just back into the woods, looking for, you know, either stuff or adventure or trying to get lost. I think about it all the time. I was just home for a visit a few weeks ago and was talking with my cousin and uncle, like, hey, remember that time we went way, way, way back into the woods and there was a house back there in the woods?
Oh.
Like with no roads or anything to it, just suddenly in the middle of the deep woods was a house. Very strange. You know, and then, you know, catching frogs and snakes. That's what that's just one thing I remember a lot. And always being dirty, just filthy, covered with filth. I'm trying to remember what it was that drew me to Scribble Jam in the first place. How did I get there?
Brad harassed you.
I must have already known Brad, and he invited me out.
You definitely did. You were in touch, I think, through turntablism love primarily.
Yeah.
But he showed me the Sebitones, that 12-inch hand solo one or whatever.
Brad was definitely repping Sebitones and Buck before anything else.
And so, if I'm remembering correctly, for that first year, there was a group of us that, is this right? There was one year anyway where we drove to Cincinnati from Nova Scotia, which was like a 2 or 3 day trip. And we subsisted only on Boost, meal replacement beverages.
And sure.
For the entire trip.
Were you with 6'2" at the time?
Yeah. He was on that trip anyway, whether that was
you guys rented a U.S. car, I remember.
Yeah.
Because 6'2" was driving all over the fucking sidewalks and shit. Cause he's like, I got insurance. He was like in a sideshow one night we were driving around.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, but he was just like, I got full insurance. And we were just like, you're crazy, dude. You can't drive like this.
Oh, man. Agent of Chaos. So that's me. Adam, what about you? Philly?
No, that was high school. I was in Jersey. Like Hoboken area, Jersey City, and North Bergen, and Weehawken. And I guess when I was littlest kid, I remember, was all about comics, toys, and like playing Manhunt in the street.
Manhunt?
Manhunt was the best. We played Kick the Can too.
What is Manhunt?
Yeah, what is Manhunt?
Manhunt was like permanent tag. So once you grab someone, you go 1, 2, 3, Manhunt, 1, 2, 3, Manhunt, 1, 2, 3, Manhunt, and you say it 3 times, and they have to go in the jail, sort of like Kick the Can. And you release the jail by tagging the jail, which was usually a car. And then you can hide anywhere you want. So it was sort of like hide and seek with running and proceeded violence. And then quickly after that, we were shitty kids, man. I was stealing and stuff. Before I knew it, there were still toys and comics, but like stealing and lighting things on fire and egging houses and buses and
it's a quick jump from Legos to chaos.
Honestly, man, it was like I was learning both at the same time. Like outside of the house, it was just how everything was, and then inside, I would kind of like space out.
I was just gonna say I had a pyro phase as well. Did everybody here go through a pyro phase?
Oh yeah.
No.
Pyro.
I almost burned our house down.
Yeah, we had M80s at a point, and we were horrible. And that was like the death of my childhood because I blew up all my toys. I remember that very vividly. It was like, fuck them! And literally explosions replaced imagination. That was it.
It seems like what's awesome with everyone we've talked with, it seems like most people have met each other at Scribble Jam, and we're really excited about it. And I was just wanted to bring this up because we just recorded an episode yesterday. But the one person that we talked to that had that just it didn't go over well for him, and I think he said it was because his own personal things. But Brother Ali, he said, didn't have any good memories. And I think he was dealing with some other stuff. But yeah, he wasn't. He said it was all on him. It wasn't anything bad about that. But he said he had. Though he didn't like who he was trying to be, trying to fit in at the time. So his kind of memory of it is kind of like a bad one for him. And I thought that was really interesting because everyone we talk to usually has, everyone with the exception of him.
Yeah, everyone.
That is interesting because, I met him there for the first time before I think he had done a lot of recording. I think he was in the battle and he came off pretty abrasive. I was like, not my favorite. Right away. And he makes great music over time. Appreciate it, but definitely if he's saying that about his place, it makes sense, because it was a great place to meet.
That was his big thing. He didn't like who he was as a person and who he was trying to be. I found that really interesting. Dibbsy duty is in the weight room, but I want to hit you guys with just a few of these. Let me hit you each. I have a question for each of you, and then we'll get dibsed. So this one is for Buck. Which controversial story do you think is more detrimental? Richard Pryor's freebasing face on Fire Fluke or Richard Gere's gerbil jamborees?
What's the first part of the question? Which is more?
Which do you think was like a more detrimental sort of story to have out there about yourself?
I feel like Richard Pryor was really redeemed and had this great sort of second act, in his career. And, when he went out as this great beloved figure. Whereas I feel like Richard Gere just can't shake this thing and it just keeps popping up, like once every couple of years, someone will say something and kind of revive the whole thing and people kind of giggle about it.
I think of that and Rod Stewart. Like, I don't know if any of that is true, but those are stuck. That's glue. Pretty Woman and the gerbil. That's all I fucking know about that dude.
It's like it's one day in the future will deface his tombstone. just write gerbil on it. Probably.
Or they'll leave little plush gerbils at his gravesite all the time.
Oh, no. You'll never escape it. It does suck. And I mean, there's some Richard Gere movies that I love. And when he was a young man, he was so handsome. Days of Heaven. I mean, that's an incredible movie. But
I just watched Pretty Woman 2 nights ago.
He was in Crush Groove.
What? No, he's not.
No, he is not.
It's starting more rumors about Richard Gere.
Even Vincent Gallo.
Okay, so Richard Gere is the answer. Okay, this one is for this one's for Adam. This one's for you, Dos. Which would you rather find, a damn rat in your kitchen or a damn roach in your bed?
Oh,
a damn.
Would I rather find?
Yeah.
What's the rat wearing? Does he have a little outfit? Because I think that's the breaker for me. Is like if he's dressed nice, I fucking love to see the rat. The roach in the bed is like, I don't know if I care what it's got on. Fucking game over. What do you even get on a roach? Not much. Maybe an elf, Scully.
Let's say that pick
a dressed rat.
A dressed rat.
A dressed rat. Yeah.
With a pizza. Okay, this one's for you, Jeff. If you were offered reincarnation, would you rather return as Jeff Foxworthy's mustache or a Jeff Dunham puppet?
I would. Shit, I take the puppet, but I would hope and pray that it would be a puppet of Jeff Foxworthy, so I could have a mustache too.
You're in the body like Chucky or whatever.
Buck, are you more pleased when you buck the system or when you get more bang for your buck?
Oh man, it's a good question because I do enjoy both. As you can see, I'm surrounded by vinyl, and I'm in a headspace right now where I'm gearing up for this big, huge record sale that happens every year here in Toronto in a couple weeks called Live Convention. And it's going to be really dope this year. Edon is coming up to perform, and Lord Finesse is going to be here to do a Q&A about the old Roosevelt record shows. And Chairman Mao is going to be here to sort of share some memories of those days and stuff like that. So it's this real exciting hip hop event. And when you're digging for records, what you're always hoping is to find that great record for cheap, which I guess is a bang for your buck type situation. I don't have the luck for that some people do. I have friends that just seem to, find a holy grail for 50 cents every month or something like that. But while we're on the topic, just for fun, because I've always loved show and tell, I'm holding on. I'm holding on to this record right now, and not too many people will fully get or appreciate this. But this is probably one of the rarest records known to exist.
Wow.
Michael Cosmic. And it's called Peace in the World. And this is a real, OG copy of this. If you were to look this up on Discogs right now, you would see that this record might be valued somewhere close to $10,000.
Wow.
It looks like it's got some dope drums on it, though, man.
Yeah, man. And so this, along with a lot of other records that I got stacked up around here, are all getting ready for the big sale.
That
coming
one?
up in a few weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't necessarily expect anyone will actually buy it because no one's that rich, but it'll just be something exciting for people to see because those who know it probably thinking I will never see that in real life in my whole life. So, so no one will be getting bang for their buck when it comes to this. That's for sure.
The art is amazing.
I know, right? It's the best. It's the greatest, and the record is heavy as hell. It's great.
What's he doing? Smoking a cigarette? What is he doing?
He's playing looks like a Kenny G type sax there, the alto or whatever that is.
Was it handmade? It looked handmade. Or was
handmade? Yep, handmade. They're all done by hand.
So fresh. So this one's for you, Jeffrey. Jello pudding or Jelly Belly candy?
I'm a Jelly Belly guy. I'm a Jelly Belly felly. Yeah. I haven't eaten pudding since I was a kid.
Is anybody on here a Jello pudding fan? I used to love Jello pudding.
I used to too. I used to eat it like water. You eat water.
I remember liking pudding pops a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, the Jello pudding pops.
That went in the freezer, yeah. They were I remember being super into those.
Yeah.
I was in a hospital not too long ago, and there was a fridge where you could get free stuff, and there wasn't much to choose from, but there was Jell-O.
Oh, yeah.
And
like regular Jell-O though? That shit's kind of weird.
Yeah, regular Jell-O, red or orange.
Like a toy. I'm not sure what that is doing. Pick a lane, Jell-O.
I hadn't Jell-O'd in a long time, but I got into it. I kept going back for more. I kind of cleared out the fridge.
Oh, that shit's good. I gotta try the green.
Yeah, was it like homemade Jell-O, or were they like Jell-Os in a cup, like the Jell-O cups?
It was unbranded, so that's not to say
government Jell-O. You had the government Jell-O.
Yeah, government Jell-O.
You were at a hospital. It probably had drugs in it. Man.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's what happened.
This one's for you, Dose. Microdose or super dose?
Super dose is like me with a towel around my neck jumping off the roof.
Oh no.
I microdose, man. I like I learned I do not microdose. I take a small amount of mushrooms. I was doing it in front of someone and they were like, boss, that is not microdose.
Micro is like 100 milligrams.
Yeah, no, so over here we make our own terms up. So let's go microdose.
Okay, well, let's invite Dibbsies in here for he doesn't have a question, but he does want to come in here. He's got something to say, I believe. We'll let him in, and then we'll finish up our conversation. Because I do want to ask, well, maybe he's got an opinion on this too. Brad, can you hear us?
On inflation? I'm sure Brad has an opinion.
Penis inflation.
Give it up, Mr. Dibbs on the turntable.
Listen to more of this.
Oh, look at the beard. You are so sexy, Adam.
It's littler than yours, though. Lou, are we twinning? You're like my dad.
It's the same beard. What is happening?
It really is. Look at this shit.
Oh, man. I have all those cameras I put in your house, so I've just been one month at a time. I copy you.
I wondered what the beeping noises were, but then I just started ignoring them because, Oh, man. Hey, gentlemen.
What's up, dude?
What's going on down here in the bottom, Jeff? You sitting right and directly looking into the sun or what?
Yeah. I'm on the beach in my attic.
Fair enough. Hey, Ty. Hey, Adrienne.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Richard.
Hi, Brad.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Is it too early?
No, the sun's going down on me here.
Fair enough.
Hey, let me ask a question before, if you had something that you wanted to say. This is for everyone, because I had just read it yesterday morning, and I found it very interesting, and it comes from Buck's Substack. And for the listening audience that aren't on there, you should definitely join it, because Buck writes out some really great stuff. Anyway, you were talking about that you sent the stuff off to get from the vinyl company, and the vinyl company would not press it because AI read that it had some samples in it.
Yes.
I'm interested to hear everyone's opinions on this. Buck, why don't you explain it a little better for what I was...
Yeah, real quick, a guy approached me a while back about putting out, basically my first album, Language Arts, on vinyl. It had never come out on vinyl before. And I said, yeah, let's do this. And so I sent him the master, and then he sent it off to the pressing plant. And it was a big, very popular pressing plant that a lot of people use. And a week or so later, we got a message back saying, we won't press this because we ran it through AI and have detected samples. And unless you provide us with, complete, whatever legally binding details on all the sample clearance, we will not press this record. And so we said, all right, well, see you later. And after that, the guy who's putting the record out kind of started asking around among other people that he knows in the business, and was told, yeah, we're starting to see this more and more. It's just, it's a growing trend. And the fear is that there's going to be a time real soon where no pressing plant will touch sample-based music, in which case, I'm toast.
There's some kind of, is there any precedent for a pressing plant getting sued for
that's the thing that's what boggles my mind. I don't
think so.
So the pressing plants that we use, you sign off. you're responsible.
Yeah.
Right.
They're never going to sue any of us on the screen here and be like, you owe us $40 because you sold 500 records. So the ones that I use, unless it's blatantly a bootleg, which is what the smaller plants are really trying to protect. You're not bootlegging like an R. Kelly record. You know,
I hadn't thought of that. That should be stopped with AI to some degree.
But they will catch you on a very like for instance, like DistroKid will catch you if you have a sample and you're trying to upload it and it's the meters. They will hear it, but you'll still have the vinyl in your hand. Mm-hmm. What I'm telling you is we should all have a conversation after this. If you're having a problem, I got you.
Right.
Easily from 2 or 3 places that I've had the conversation with the cats that run the plants. As long as it's not a bootleg, they don't really give a fuck. And if they do, you guys, I'm responsible. It's not on them. Hey, it's me, Brad. I sampled it and I'm responsible for clearance. And like, cool, that protects them. And then we never cared anyway.
When you get sued, they don't come for cost of goods. They want the money you made off that shit, But nonetheless,
they're never going to where we made the money anyway,
What do you do about the DistroKid thing then? Just not release it on digital?
You make the money on the hard sale on the vinyl. It is what it is. I mean, you can put it on Bandcamp. They don't care.
Here's the other thing, though. As you may recall with language arts, I used to kind of play around with all these different like personas with different names and whatnot. And so language arts is just basically each song is like a different persona. And one of them is about this character, Johnny Rockwell, who was a male model. And at the end of the verse, I dropped just like as the song is fading out, like a couple seconds of the song Obsession by Animotion, which was a hit in the 80s.
But You're My Obsession, that one?
Yeah, and I put that in there because in Canada, when I was growing up, there was a fashion TV show that came on every weekend called Fashion Television, and that was their theme song. And so, I'm a model, fashion, blah, 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 just to kind of drive that point home. And when we got the message back from the pressing plant, they said, for example, we heard, the Animotion thing. And so they did cite a specific sample to which they said, we're not doing this.
Wow.
That sucks for shit like Turntable Scientifics. Like,
yeah.
What? I could press that on vinyl.
With your guys.
Yeah, I'll have to sign the paperwork. But I mean, if you're doing 200 copies, any reasonable, or 500 copies, 1,000 copies, there's no label that's going to be like, let's waste a bunch of money suing Adam or Rick or Jeff on this dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, plus that's going to draw more attention, and then we're going to sell more anyway, under the table anyway. It's not like they're bootlegging these, Adam.
Oh, shit. Oh, gross. It's Apogee tapes. Yeah, dude.
Hello.
So I have this thing, this big metal box, which has this is Jeff's. That's a William Cooper tape, Jeff.
It's where you got most of his like vocal stuff from.
Yeah, and then this is how there you go. Do you remember any of this, Jeff?
Is that Nas?
This is a one-of-a-kind Jeff tape.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then there's this. Here we go. There we go.
Dude, jealous. Wow.
Handmade by Jeff. You remember this?
I was artsy back then, man.
Exotic songs.
Dude, you can make like 10 albums off of these 2 tapes alone.
I can't even. They're just beat tapes?
Yeah, and samples and shit. There's still got that one. Language Arts is around there somewhere, Rich.
Oh yeah, there it is.
No shirt on. I have that same. I have the same tape. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got one of those around here somewhere.
That was my scribbled beat tape.
Yeah.
I don't know how I have these, but I have 2 Atmosphere DATs from some live show somewhere that I have no idea why I have them. These are from Europe, so I'm not supposed to have them.
Yeah.
This is what you sign off on when you bootleg vinyl. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, after I put that post up on Substack, I heard from Tommy Controller 7 right away saying, hey, this has come up before, and I just signed the waiver saying, like, I accept all responsibility, you're in the clear. And that's maybe what you would expect if you got any resistance whatsoever, which is why this situation was so surprising, that it wasn't that. It wasn't like, hey, look, sign this form and then we'll proceed. It was like, no, we are not doing this. That was new to me.
Was that a bigger plant?
It was a big plant.
Like, I'm throwing this name, not meaning it's them, but like a United or someone that's...
Yeah.
I literally drive and pick up my records.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about 4 spots I can do it from, and as long as it ain't an R. Kelly bootleg. And I mean, Adam got in trouble for trying to bootleg the whole R. Kelly catalog.
Right.
Different.
They have this. They have that AI that only detects R. Kelly. So everything else goes right through it, but boom, it grabs that R. Kelly.
That's how AI started to bust R. Kelly bootlegs. Everyone in this room knows that.
That's the FBI.
I'm trying to relate. About I would say like 20 something years ago, I used to do stencil art only. In fact, I used to do pieces of Dibbs, but I used to do this Muhammad Ali piece, and I got a letter in the mail one day suing me for $45,000.
No way.
Yeah. I sent them a $100 check and an apology letter, and then it went away.
Where'd they get that number? They were like,
I don't know. I looked down. I was like, I think whoever sent it, the lawyers or something, it was either the number they were trying to scare me with, or at the time we were selling fucking art like hotcakes. So they may have went through how often we were selling on eBay and stuff and tried to put that together. But
there's no way.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to pay that. It would have bankrupted us.
Yeah, right.
They give their numbers the same place Texas gives their sales tax number.
That's right. Do you have some other messages or?
No, listen, Tai, Adrienne, Tyler, Andromeda. We're dealing with the whole people eating pets crisis here, apparently, which is literally.
I'm going to eat my cat after this podcast.
Right. That's about 10 minutes north of us. And that's not happening. But this is our new favorite thing right now. Just walking around with your pet. Just.
Does anybody remember this record, MC Breeze from Philly? And there's a song called Discombobulator Boobulator.
Oh.
The discombobulator, boobulator.
Looks like Schoolie D's art.
He talks about eating cats on that song.
Shit.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's not the? Hold on. Is that the?
That's the nappy dugout.
I went downstairs and I kicked the cat. I left him alone if he caught some rats because me and the cat, we don't get along. I used to have a hamster and now he's gone. That's that record.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's big on cat culture.
Seeding the trend.
It's not why I know the lyrics. It's why did you turn directly around and pull that fucking record? That's why.
I got something for every occasion up here.
Cat had a hamster. Were you just making that up, or is that real?
No, that's really.
Okay.
That's for the record, really.
Wow,
Should be your state song.
Here, can you see that camera? Let's see. Hold on.
Do it again.
See that red dot under?
Yeah, we get recorded.
Yeah.
That's a Scribble Jam time-lapse camera for the documentary.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
So I've literally been down here forgetting it's there, and I'm naked going to take a shit. Walk down the turntable. Yeah, no, and so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going with it. See, just like that. Hey, come back in naked, Tai.
So when you head off to pinch a loaf, you strip down all the way naked?
Yeah, I shit naked. I think anyone knows that.
Like a dolphin. That's how dolphins do.
Dude, actually, we had a friend whose kid used to do that.
Yeah, listen.
There you go.
I gotta shit like a dolphin.
Hey, who doesn't shit like a dolphin? Come on, it's my blowhole emptying. I guess the point is, I feel like
breathe through your butthole.
Who doesn't, Dose? Who doesn't?
Just take a little sip of air. Breath control.
I feel like if I'm not butt naked, I'm gonna get shit on myself. I'm gonna have a wild wipe. Look, I'm gonna be like, phew, and then it's gonna be over there, and like you're gonna be sitting there a week later and be like, how'd poop get on the shower curtain?
You need less fiber.
You wear like those 5XL liquor store shirts, and you get shit. Forget to lift it. like a sundress, for hoodlum.
You know that's still a thing here, right?
I'm sure. Well,
I go in the corner store every day. There's somebody like, "What, you don't have 4X?" And like the dude's like smaller than my kid. He's like 110 pounds. Like, you don't have the 4X? And I'm looking at him like, "Fuck you." Oh, yeah, man. They all got them. It's.
We got to be honest. That's a blouse.
It is a blouse. It's also part of the whole cat subculture. Because if you get in a cat situation, you got the extra fabric to wrap the cat up.
Oh.
Right.
Man, Adam, I think your beard is stellar. Mine is lacking.
Dude, no, your beard looks great.
No, yours looks way better.
No, well, I trim it. I gotta
go to the barber. I can't do any of this.
Yeah,
I can shave my dolphin blowhole that I shit out of.
in November, I'm going to be in Cincinnati. I'll shave you.
Oh.
That's why I love you.
shave like full shave though, like back, legs.
I will 100% have a dolphin outfit when you get here.
No, I'm giving you a dolphin. I'm giving you a full dolphin.
Well, while everyone's here that's on there, this is our 100th episode, by the way.
Hey,
you guys are our
congrats, man.
You're our gift to ourselves. So thank you for being with us. And really, the only thing I had put together that I wanted to know about, because people after we had Buck on, a lot of people were reaching out. Well, everyone wanted to know about the North American Adonis album. What's the truth behind? Like, was it all recorded in '98? What happened to it? And I thought it would just be like better to just say, does anyone have like or throughout in a conversation, you guys can let us know how it came about. What's the truth behind what was saved, what was lost, all that stuff.
Look.
Jail's coming.
There it is. That's the bastard that ate the mustard.
Holy shit!
So,
it's giving me bad vibes.
Jeff, if you can correct me at will. We recorded at that session before Scribble the whole first half, which is what people heard and consider to be North American Adonis with titties and car parts and all that stuff.
That was all recorded on Dibbs's 8-track tape.
On John Doe's 8-track.
Oh, it's John Doe.
Yeah, I sold it to John Doe. That's how.
And so he brought it over, and then we had issue bouncing it out because we tried to play it on Nostom's 8-track and the tape was warping. So then we got John Doe's eventually. It got bounced out. Nostom restored it. We have that version. And then, though, on a separate trip, and I don't remember, I guess this was another Scribble, we recorded a whole second chunk. Jeff put all the beats down. I did all my raps.
I had the digital VS880 at the time. And I think during that session, I found out that I had 2 drives that I could switch to, which means I had a whole another drive that I could record shit on. So I think I did that one we did the second half on the new drive. And then one day after we did all that stuff, I was going back to the other drive and I initialized the drive. So it just erased everything.
Erased the entire second half of the record. And then that killed the mojo, as they say in the streets. And that was that. And then Zach, who runs Hands Made, dear friend, he literally said to me one day, he was like, what's up with North American Adonis? And I was like, I don't know, man. I love those guys. And he was like, you should do it again. And then I brought it up to both dudes. Boom. Rest was history. Yeah.
And for clarity, for anyone unfamiliar, we're talking about a gap in between of 25 or wait, now 20 years, or was it 98 to 2023 or whatever?
And one of my favorite things that Buck said, well, first of all, it needs to be said because there's no other place to say it. We recorded the whole album on one email chain. It's hundreds of emails, and you would have to look for which one had attachments to it. But at one point, he just hit me up and was like, I know we're doing this by mail, but there used to be this little thing they called chemistry, and we should go for that. And so we started to coordinate, which I had tried a little with Alpha, but really leaving holes, having fun. And I think it's by far the best mail order experience. I don't hear the mail on the record, which is...
Because sometimes you hear the mail.
Yeah, you hear the fucking mail. Space between homes, whatever it is.
So you're saying when it was lost, that really took the steam out of it. So it was just like, fuck it, we're not even doing anything. It's done.
But you had...
Dude, it was crushing. Jeff and I were depressed for a month. It was real bad for us.
Yes.
And I still had all the discs for the beats on my SP1200, so we could have redone stuff, but we didn't have. It was a very wide window. We only see Buck once a year at Scribbles, So.
And then there was never ever a discussion ever in the passing of 20 years, I guess, or some odd years, whatever, until Zach brought it up. No, there was never any thought of, oh, maybe we should revisit.
That was honestly just because of my sadness and if I, be honest, I had just shame about losing that other half. And then
I shamed you.
No, not you. We did. I mean, it was the hard drive shamed me, but whatever it was it just felt bad, So I just appreciated Buck the whole time. And then actually right when Buck took his hiatus, I reached out to get him on the first Alpha record. And you were like, I'm stopping. And I shed a tear. But then you started putting music out again through Zach at Handsmade. And I was like, I'm so glad we did it. It was so much more fun than doing my own shit, for all the reasons.
So what are we hearing on this? How much of what was...
You think you're fucking cool because you have a copy of vinyl?
Did we not send you yours? You sent yours.
I got them. Yeah, I got them literally right here. I got them.
There's like 4 gel beats that were from...
The original second half, yeah.
So I think the very first beat, the Yo, Buck, what's up? One, the second to last one. There's 4 of them. And then the little snippets that came through on the radio were complete, restored, overcompressed versions of the original.
I don't have a copy with the.
That's fucking glorious.
It's beautiful.
Really pretty.
It so is.
Talk about Jelly Belly.
So we're hearing old and new? Is that what you're saying?
They're just, some of the beats are old, but it didn't feel right to use any of that upon listening to it. It's more fun to do stuff completely from scratch.
Okay.
I sampled a bunch of more stuff and sent it to Adam in the same vein as like how I was making beats back then.
And there are snippets that you hear from time to time of the original as well.
It's so good. It's glorious. It's seriously glorious. I fucking love it so much.
There is one really funny Buck line on the original that I was going to have, but I had to cut one of the radio snippets. But it was, I carry my records to the contest in a scumbag. Which is just, sometimes I see someone who, looks unkempt, and that line fires in my head.
Oh, man. I mean, what I can remember about that original session, just hanging out in that apartment, is just, basically nonstop laughter. Yeah. And then I seem to remember there was a point early on in the whole process of reviving this thing, Adam, where you were like, maybe here as we kind of go back into this, we just take ourselves a little more seriously. But then I think that pretty quickly went out the window. And then when we got together in New Mexico earlier in the year, it was just nonstop silliness. I just don't think it's possible. It's just, there's no way.
Man, we had the giggles like straight children at a sleepover. Multiple times. It was really good when we were all hanging out together filming the video.
Since we're all sitting here, was Dibbs part of the first version of stuff?
No, but he's our dad.
I had no idea what Adam was talking about when he called me about it. I mean, I didn't care. He could ask me for anything. Anybody on the screen could be like, do this. And I'm like, cool, got you. No questions asked. And he's like, we're doing this. And I'm like, okay. And then I vaguely remembered this being a thing, but that's fucking 25 years ago. So it's like, was that a thing, or is it a weird scribble memory? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I hadn't thought about it in 20 something years.
Yeah. And I want to say too, man, thank you, Brad. I met all these guys through you, my best friends.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. You know.
That's all because of you.
No, it's not.
And that's why you're on this.
Well, I'll tell you what, for my dolphin hole, I'd say that's fine.
I thought I saw a flame earlier, and I was like, nah, I'm tripping.
You did.
I'm tripping.
Speaking of being a pyro, Dibbs still is a pyro.
Yeah, right.
Still in the pyro phase.
It doesn't count when you're in your studio. It's okay.
Who can do a celebrity impression? Anyone, or any kind of impression?
Oh, I got one. 10,000 gigawatts.
Doc.
How's that?
That's Doc.
That's good.
It's Doc from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
When I think Scribble Jam and Brad and all these things that we've been talking about here, I can remember, and I appreciate this deeply, is that it must have been the first year I went to Cincinnati for Scribble Jam. I feel in my memory that the very first thing I did, I'm in the city limits of Cincinnati. Within 15 minutes, we went to a Skyline for a Skyline chili experience.
That happened.
Yep.
It's basically like, it's one of those foods that like you eat it and you're like, I'm going to poop this.
Yeah.
It instantly transports you mentally to the other end of this interaction.
You only eat that when you know where your next 2 hours are going to be.
Right.
And I've eaten it my whole life, but like if we all went and sat down, that means the next thing is we're going to the house because going to shit. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, can I ask all the three of you, Brad already, I wouldn't even have to ask him, if should Scribble Jam ever return? Is that something you'd like to be a part of?
I don't know what that is. Are we doing the Scion era, or are we all just pretending we're young again?
Scion era.
Is it like a biopic, and we get to play ourselves as older?
I miss it. Like nothing that I've ever experienced since has come close to that experience and the fun and the excitement. And I would love to have that feeling again somehow, some way. And I don't know what that would be. And I don't even know if it's possible, given just like the passage of time to capture it. It might have had plenty to do with the late 90s and early 2000s or something, of just what was happening in music at the time or something. I don't really know. But if there was a way to even like go back in time or whatever, I mean, I would. Like, that was as fun as it gets.
I agree with that. If it ever did come back, it'd be totally on some different,
Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if the people that started it were actually in complete control of it, knew some shit you guys didn't know at this exact moment, you never know. It could be like a year and a half away, and no one would fucking know until they got I don't know.
Well, I tell you what. Honestly, though, I would cipher the whole time, and if there were a few peers, like I could see Jawar and fucking Jawar. You know what I'm saying? But like, so I would absolutely go to like be around my peer group.
But Adam, you'd have to assume that if somebody was doing that again, and those that started it were involved, they would take it back to Slaughterhouse One and just watch all the young kids challenge the people they should not even be in the same room with and just get their heads taken. Just for the old dudes to have just the best time in the world. I'm not saying that's happening, and I don't know anything about it.
Hypothetically speaking.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, well, you got my number.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, man, in theory, if anyone knew about it, it'd be fire.
I want Fat Nick to paint my face, though.
He was just over here the other day.
Yeah, dude.
Nick was over here. Tony was over here. G Fresh was over.
G Fresh! Yo, I missed that fool.
You know, there's that's we're just hanging out talking about
shit.
Stuff.
Well, all right. I got to go into the dish questions and get these guys out of here. You have final words for these guys, Brad?
Sure.
And I'm out.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's like a magician exit, you know, when they drop the smoke bomb.
Yeah.
Poofed out.
Very impressive.
Brad's always got a torch up his sleeve, you know.
Yeah. I can say one of the things I will say, and then we'll go into your guys' dish. You guys have paper. You're gonna have to write down your answers, and you got paper or dry erase boards.
Hey, I have a thing right here. Am I supposed to do this before you do the dish?
Oh yes,
I got paper.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, I'll tell this story while they're grabbing their thing. But Brad was our third episode, and it was him and Sean. And the moment I hung up with them, we were on with them for 4 hours, and the moment we hung up, he called me, and we've been friends ever since. It's been great. It's like he makes me laugh, man. I enjoy. One of my most favorite things in the world is laughing, and so. By the way, while I'm on top of this, I mentioned in the intro, I said I wonder if I text Dose too much.
No, not at all. I love it, dude. I live alone in the desert.
I like to tell people how great. I mean, when things make me feel good, I like to let them know. I like to let them know that they've affected me. And so, yeah, all three of you guys' music makes a significant impact on my life and my career as an artist. So I do want to thank you for that.
Yeah, I love that what we make goes right into what you make. It's nice.
It truthfully does, 100%, absolutely.
You know where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like human centipede.
Yeah, exactly. Same
Oh boy.
Okay, before we go into your dish, we've got a question from Sage Francis. This is Sage's social media lurk from Strange Famous Records. He's got a question for you guys.
Sage Francis, social media alert.
North American Adonis. You were a mythical group. Because I had just started to become aware of all of your music when word was floating around about this project. And you finally had the ability to put it together. I'm impressed by that, and I love that I actually own it. And my job is to lurk your social media. I'm not going to do... Well, Dose's Twitter goes back to just last year, and most of his tweets are about the video game industry and his work and stuff like that, which is wonderful, but it's not juicy. $165, my man, my mellow. I'm not going to talk about. I mean, it's amazing that you even had a foray into social media for the short stint that you did, and you were incredible at it. It's not your place. It's not the kind of thing you really want to get involved with. I understand. But Jeff, you are the juiciest producer on social media. You say things. You have opinions. In 2014, you tweeted, if my dick created money, I'd never leave the bank. Or something like that. It's like, we need more of that stuff from producers. It's usually just rappers who say the really dumb stuff all the time. But you have your moments. I love all you guys. I don't have a specific question for you because I don't want all three to have to beg for like my approval, right? So just wanted to say hi. I'd love if you guys did another project, but if you never do, it's totally understood. And hopefully we can all get on the same show again someday. Would you be down for that? All right. Thanks for listening to me. Peace to DOD45. Love y'all. Strange Famous.
Nice. Thank you, Sage.
He's looking good these days.
He has the beard too. We all have the same beard. Everybody's got this fucking beard. What's happening?
That's a great tweet, Joe.
Yeah. I vaguely remember posting that. Sometimes, yeah, I get these little pissy epiphanies and I just do that. I don't tag anybody in and I just throw it out there. So.
Didn't you like go at Grimes once? I think you took a shot at Grimes on Twitter once.
I think I might have, yeah.
I laughed really hard.
It was just, I just thought what she posted was ridiculous, and it was like already 2 million people had responded, so I you know, whatever. I actually tweeted about Stephen Colbert's ear back in the day when some candidate was running and he was talking shit on him, and he had the same kind of like smaller ear and
baby ear.
Yeah, but he can't hear out of it either.
Oh, he can't.
And I found that out, and I felt really shitty. So that's the only tweet I ever took off, was talking about Stephen Colbert.
Oh, you posted, yeah, because I always see the ear and I'm like, oh, that thing's kind of funky. Not funky, but you know, it's like
he's deaf in that ear though. He said that.
Oh yeah, that takes the fun right out of it.
Yeah. I'm not making fun of his ear.
Just like an undeveloped.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he couldn't hear out of that. Oh yeah. Okay, well now we know. Well, you guys, shit, it's been fantastic. Thank you for hanging with us. Oh, before we go into the disc questions, let's complete the arc of our discussion, though. So this is the complete the arc. How will North American Adonis finish its existence? Is it done? Is it the beginning of something more?
We haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have not.
No, but I'm not against it. That was one of my favorite experiences I've had in a very long time. So
the door's not completely closed on it?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to have the right window.
We are in agreement. And then as far as occupying a stage with Sage,
right.
I don't know. I haven't performed in coming up on 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Now. And sometimes I wonder if I ever will again. And if so, like, what would it take? What would that, what would that look like? But being surrounded by the homies I love, makes such an idea feel kind of appealing and safe. I don't know, where and how that would be. I'm not really in a position, just given what's going on in my life and having a regular job and stuff, where I could like really go on tour again. But I do sometimes imagine that if I were to perform again, it would be some just, amazing, maybe one-off thing that would happen somewhere, somehow, what that would be. I mean, as soon as Sage said that, I immediately thought, oh, Scribble Jam. Dibbs seems to have something up his sleeve, but I'm not saying that though.
Yeah.
I mean, I do same as Buck. I will never tour. Period. End of not having that conversation.
Yeah.
I would do the right one-offs, and I've said yes to a secret one that's later this year, and I'll see if I like that. If I like that, I will keep one-off on the table with preparation. The thing for me is the amount I have to rehearse to feel good about doing it.
Yeah.
I can't make space for that in my life, nor do I want to suck at this thing I'm great at again. There's the arc in rehearsal that makes me want to shoot myself, and these days I don't want to shoot myself, so it's fucking
that's what I think about, like even the concept of an Adonis show is that to do that right and to do it justice, I think would require an insane amount of rehearsal, which would be a commitment of time that I don't know if any of us have. The thought of it romantically, is very appealing. It's an awesome daydream.
I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it too.
Yeah, right now, but it's like just the thing. But the thing though is everybody just says that. It reminds me of that Mitch Hedberg joke where he's like, you're a comedian, and they ask you, can you write a script? Can you act? He's like, you don't go up to a chef and be like, can you farm? And there's this thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm recording records. I'm going to do 4 this year that aren't coming out. I'm not going to tour those. smd.com. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm same way. I'm over toured unless it was like something really like a week and it's going to be awesome and whatever, taking care of it, shit like that. I'll just do shows around California. Like I do a lot of shit locally still, one-off shows and shit like that. So, but yeah, Sage is definitely, if he comes to town, it'll probably be Gilman,
Well, and it seems like all of you, even a lot of the people that we have on the show, are in a position now in their lives and that if you were to do something, you would do it because it was something you would wanted to do. Like there's no reason to tour. There's no reason for any of that. It seems like it would be something if it was like, oh, that seems like something I really want to do. And if it doesn't take anything really out of you, it'd be like just showing up to a place and having a good time.
I think from what I'm hearing, and it's like I said, it's been a while since I've been out there, but the stories I keep hearing from people who are still out there grinding is that it's harder than ever to even make it work. Like almost impossible to do it and have it be a moneymaker.
It was already difficult.
It was already really hard to not lose money. And now it seems almost impossible.
Well, Adrienne and I have been going to a lot of shows recently, and I do feel that way with the club, like going, doing a small venue here and there and here and there. That seems like nobody's making coin. I do know, like with the thing with Rhymefest that Sage got invited to go do, that place, he was cutting out checks for performers, which seems to me that would be a more beneficial, because all you had to do is show up and do 20 minutes and got a nice good check out of it. That seemed, and there was a shitload of people on the bill and the place was packed. So that seems to make sense, because we've gone to shows with some big heads recently that like there were like 20 people in the club. Wow, and I'm like, oh man, I don't understand how this is happening. You people don't, but then we've gone to the Living Legend show and it was wall to wall people just everywhere. I can't make sense of why some shows have had so many people and some haven't, but I don't know.
I think there's it's like, I'm rephrasing what I said earlier, but like one of the reasons I still want to make more music and like I'm reconnected to the original reasons I made that is because I don't tour. Like what's the things that involves and the industry aspects, taking photos, talking about yourself, Once all that comes in, I don't want to do more music. So I
Right.
just pull all that out because just wanting to make more music is, it's what I work for, you know. I'd rather
Yeah.
do that.
Well, if I could just take this moment to thank Zach and Handsmade Records for putting the music out there. Like that seems to be the goal. Like it's the music. That's it. That's all you need. There's no other. I don't need anything else really. And I'm thankful to him for that.
Yeah. Big thanks to Zach. He's a gem, and there's not too many like him. Really, just kind of doing it, you know, for the love of it. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Actually, really rare when you put it in that context, which is the correct context. There's not many people. Well, like people like us, you know, but it's a different thing. Also, there's not many of the record left. So if you watch this, and you haven't gotten it.
That's also a thing.
Yeah. Stop dicking around. If you want, you get your hands on it. Better do it now.
Hey, Pumpkinhead. Off the internet.
Hey everybody, here's a quick announcement. Our Dish episodes will air this Friday. So 2 days following the episode that you're watching right now. So join us for tonight's guests' first, worst, and thirsts this Friday night. All right, let's get back to the show.
Hey, before we go, just because we were talking about it earlier, and because I was thinking about it as we were talking about Scribble a little bit earlier, is there like a standout favorite Scribble moment for either of you guys?
The most shocking for me and memorable is pretty much the year of Eminem and Juice and Doseone Rhyme Fest. The first preliminary part, the outside, when we were like sitting under the awning, and that was like one of the most nastiest battles I had ever witnessed. And an understanding like that Slim Shady came with pre-writtens after hearing the song later. It still didn't like disappoint that when that shit was actually happening, because I was like sitting with Dame One next to PNS in the back while someone was DJing, one of the Mall Men probably, and that battle was just fucking nasty. It was funny as hell.
Yeah,
and that was Scribble like 95 or not? No, it was 96 or 97.
97. That one. That is a big memory for me because I remember being like, you know, full of piss and vinegar and all that shit went down. But the best memory I have is everyone outside of, I guess, the day before Scribble, outside of the the radio station where Dibbs had B-Boy Underground.
89.3.
Yeah, everyone was there. We were freestyling, but then it started a capping battle, and motherfucking G-Fresh and Dame were capping on each other. And I don't remember any of it except that G-Fresh said Dame looks like he was hit in the head with a Lowenbrow bottle. And I've never laughed harder in my life. I just had never realized that Lowenbrow was like insulting if you got the words around it right. And I'll never forget. And I remember after he said that, it was better than the battle with Eminem and Juice. Everyone was like, "Wow!" And I laughed. I'll never forget.
Yeah, but those crack sessions, man, with Dibbs and Fresh and everybody, it just got out of hand. It was hilarious.
Yeah, he called Yoni iguana vagina once. And Brad called him iguana vagina. He would just shut you down. You'd try to go up against him, and he fucking just hit you with shit like that.
Well, remember, Brad would also, like, we'd be hanging out in someone's apartment, and he'd come with, like, Papa John's pizza and say, "Oh, I hid it in the rafters. I stole it." And then he'd bring us, like, 6 boxes of pizza. But the first thing he'd do was go straight at Yoni and tackle him and start humping him on the ground.
Used to hump Yoni all the time. He'd ball him up and just hump him. I actually don't know what you do that to. So I don't have an analogy. It was just he would ball the young man up.
I would never be able to pick one memory. Like, there's so many amazing MC battle moments, B-boy battle moments as well.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Daylight, watching Daylight,
right?
Fucking
seriously,
still in my mind.
He was incredible. He's exactly who I was thinking about when I said that. But there's one indelible image that's in my head. There was one year where I was outside and Top Speed was DJing, and I don't know if it was for the B-boy battle, maybe it was. And it was a really hot, sunny day.
Oh, I know this story. I remember seeing this happen. Yeah.
And he's like the OG guy, right? Like he's up there with like doubles of like,
Yeah, he had like all the clean fucking everything, 45s.
the 45s of just like these Grail records or whatever, and the sun was melting them, and you could watch them like turn into bowls.
They were curling up while turning, and it started warping and shit. And he was like, "Oh fuck!" Like I just remember him scrambling.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Yeah,
you can't fix that in the oven.
I'm still like traumatized by the sight of it. It's like, oh my god!
You can make shelves out of them.
Yeah, they were ashtrays after that.
Yeah. I genuinely appreciate you asking that, but because that's one of the questions I was going to ask and then go to Dibbs, but I could sense that Dibbs was texting me. He's like, I'm here. But I did want to ask that question. I was able to get connected with people later on in my life, to all you guys' music who I listened to, but at the time I was too young to be able to go to shows, or I wasn't really going to shows. So for my own selfishness, I want a chance to see everyone at some capacity.
I'd do it for the peer group. I'm sure we would make each other laugh and go get some meals together. And
If Brad asked me to come back for Scribble Jam, I'd play. If it was the right situation, definitely.
Well, I'm genuinely grateful to you guys for joining us for our 100th episode. We weren't going to make a big deal out of it, but it's cool that you guys are here.
It's a big deal, man. That's
a huge deal.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
Well, it's been fun. It's been a fun ride. We've met a lot of cool people. So, I will definitely chill on my texts to you, Dose. No, I know.
No, I love it.
It's
dude.
not like every day. It's just like sometimes I'm just sitting there, I'm like, fuck, and then I just send you a message.
Never bugs me. Great to see all you got.
For a wrap up, is there anything additional that you guys want anyone to know about NAA that isn't publicly known, or anything about personal things coming up?
I'm full of secrets right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got some shit coming.
I'd say to anybody else listening that's gone to the end of this, if you haven't picked up the North American Adonis album, go get it.
Get it.
Yeah.
So,
if there's some left, right?
Yeah, I think there is.
Vinyl left for the second pressing, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, we won't do more after this.
Going like hotcakes.
Yeah, you have to act fast, though.
You better lose it, Pumpkinhead.
Iguana vagina. What? That's good. Anyone else? We're good?
Yeah, we're good. Record Vector.
Adam, I remember you and Yoni once leaving a message on my answering machine, and one of you guys called me an anal barnacle.
That was Yoni. I think that sounds like a Yoni shot. Yeah.
Sounds like something Dibbs might have.
It was like, hello, Richard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
DOD45.
That's good.
Yeah, no,
All
thank
good.
you guys. Yep, fantastic. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining us for our 100th episode.
Thank
We
you,
genuinely
guys.
That was
appreciate
fun.
it.
Good times as always.
Later. Thank you, Adrienne. Thank you, Ty.
Yeah, good
Bye,
night.
y'all.
Thanks.
Miss you guys.
Hey, yo, Buck 65! I am on the move like gypsies thrive. Warning, I'm transforming on stage like Bill Bixby live. Living the lime patch over a glass eye. Hey, yo, Buck 65! Dip.
Oh, thank you so much, North American Adonis. That was fantastic. It was great having all those guys in there. Yeah, just a lot of fun. There's just a lot of fun people. It was a lot of fun. I didn't get much drawing done, but what you're looking at right now is the finished drawing, and I explained what it was at the first of the episode. So there you go. There's the buck with the dose on its tongue, and a glass of milk, all sorts of things in there. So there you go. If you like the drawing I did in this episode, or any of the past drawings I've done on episodes, you can order prints of them from DOD45.com, or you can see more of my artwork at ArtByTai.com. Oh man, I'm so grateful to those guys. We ran a little longer than what I promised them.
As always. I
had my timer going, but yeah. So now we're running sort of late into the evening, and we got some obligations we got to get to. So I'll cruise through the exit, but I don't want it to seem like we're not grateful for that. So grateful for the conversation and for them joining us.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah,
they're cool.
Yeah, really cool bunch of guys, and I hope we get a chance at some level in some way to be able to meet people in person. So meet them anyway. Before you sign off, before you up to sign off, don't forget our episode is not completely over until you've heard Blackliq's last words. Then you can clock out, okay? I got a movie share. The movie I want to share for this episode is a movie called Hostiles.
I don't know how you've done all these years. Seeing all the things you've seen, doing all the things you've done, makes you feel inhuman after a while.
Starring Christian Bale. It's an American Western drama from 2017, written and directed by Scott Cooper, and it's based on a story by Donald Stewart. It takes place in the 1890s. It's about a legendary army captain named Joseph Blocker who reluctantly agrees to escort a dying Cheyenne war chief and his family back to their tribal land. It's really good. It's upsetting. It's sad. It's very moody. But it's really well acted. Obviously, Christian Bale is a terrific actor. But that kid's in it from Dune that keeps turning up.
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. He plays like a Frenchman. Is he French?
No.
Well, he plays a French soldier in this.
The English?
I
don't know. Actually,
it's a really, really good movie. I think you should check it out. Like I said, it came out in 2017. Anyway, their Civil War. They're Civil War soldiers. They agree to take this Cheyenne war chief and his family, like I said, but while they're taking him, they go through it's like this harrowing and perilous journey from Fort Barringer, New Mexico, passing by Doseone's house, to the grasslands of Montana, and during this trip they encounter a young widow whose family was killed by Comanches and out on the plains, so they take her with them. But they meet her and she's like there with her dead kids. It's dark, but really good. Anyway, they take her with her on their journey, and the travelers all have to band together to survive a punishing landscape that's crawling with hostile Comanches and vicious outsiders. It's a really good movie. Check it out. It's called Hostiles. Adrienne, do you have a song share?
Well, yeah, I was basing it on the fact that I thought this episode would be around Halloween. but I'm wrong. Yeah. And I went with Horsey as a band, and the song is Underground.
He don't eat, he don't sleep, he don't cry, he don't moan, he don't call when I'm not home because my baby.
Oh, interesting.
And it might make you do interpretive dance when you listen to it.
Oh, I've never heard of them. Horsey.
Yeah, they're from South London. And I'm thinking South London maybe is around Slough, if you're southeast. So I think that's around Slough. But anyway, yeah, they're kind of fun. Yeah. This is a very off pick for me for all right. This.
I like it. That's what we want to learn.
For this section.
Yeah.
Because I try to keep it in, but...
No, make them mix it up.
Whatever.
Yeah. Yes, we get recommendations. Check out the TV show Slow Horses. That's a really good show. Okay. My song share is Blues Jam by the Rollins Band. It's fucking, I love it. I love it. I had a whole other song I was going to share, and then this morning Blues Jam came on, and it's Henry Rollins. It's at peak, just being Henry Rollins. Life won't break your heart, it'll crush it. That's like one of the lines. It's so great. I really do like Henry Rollins. All right, the new addition to our show, that's Ceschi giving his recommendations. Also, he's part of the song recommendation. That's Ceschi Ramos of Fake 4. His song share is Expect the Bayonet by Sheer Mag. It's not something I would typically listen to, which is why we have it. I appreciate it, and it's a cool song. So there you go. Those are our song shares. Subscribe to the DOD45 song share playlist on Spotify. That's called DOD45 Loves, LUVS. And that's got all of our songs from past episodes that we shared. It's a really cool playlist. Like, just pop it on. I hear all the time people are like, oh, I'm looking for new music. Does anyone have new music? I guarantee you have not heard all the songs in our playlist. So
Or the artists.
Artists. Yeah. So yeah, check out that playlist. It's a cool thing to listen to. I listen to it a lot in our booth at the art shows. I play it at least once a day. And so if you like any of the songs in that playlist, or the musicians that make that music, please try to support them through their band camps or their merch or tangible goods or going to their shows if you can. There are a few songs in there that are from like major acts that don't need your help, but please do what you can to make music enjoyable for us.
Great again.
Yeah, great again. Make music great again.
Make music great again.
Oh boy, we've recorded this before.
We're running on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I need to go make dinner. My butt hurts.
Be sure to pick up the NAA album, North American Adonis.
The election's already come and gone.
The election's come and gone, so who knows where we're at. You may not even be watching. But yeah, pick up the new album through Handsmade at handsmade.xyz.
The whole world just blew up.
Yep. It may not even be available anymore, but if it is available, the album is at handsmade.xyz. Love that company, and they're one of our affiliates. That's also where you can get a lot of Buck 65's latest albums, and also where you can get the Alpha albums on vinyl.
And tell Zach DOD45 sent you.
Yeah, tell Zach the DOD45 show sent you. Zach is he runs the Handsmade. Pick up Gels music at it's gelsmusic.bandcamp.com, dose1.bandcamp.com, buck65.bandcamp.com. Buck's Substack is called Vertices. It's a great place to read. He just knows how to tell a good story and keep you intrigued on it. So it's a great place to read stuff coming from Buck 65. Join us next time for the Dish episode of North American Adonis, where these guys share their answers to their first, worst, and thirst. It's a lot of fun. We did it a different way, where everyone guessed each other's answers. It was fun. And then tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
It was a perfect movie share for you then.
Yeah. Wow. That's, you know what? When I put the movie share in there, and I did not, I didn't make that correlation, but yeah, it is. Watch that on Thanksgiving. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're enjoying. You'll have a great time with your families tomorrow. Genuinely, I do say that. It's my least favorite holiday. But it's gotten better over the years because we've been able to change up the food that we eat, and it's a little more relaxing. In past times, it was I don't know, something about it. But yep, there you go. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Turkey Day. Happy 100th episode to you, Adrienne. Happy 100th episode.
Thank you.
I think that's us done, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll see you next Wednesday.
I hope you've all been enjoying watching our show. We have some great guests coming up, and I hope you'll continue to watch us. From all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy drawing, happy conversing. Thanks for conspiring with us. Well, Adrienne, final word?
Don't eat your pets.
Don't eat your cats and dogs. Jeez.
Don't eat your neighbor's cats and dogs.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving.
And now, marinate on these episode-ending last words from Blackliq.
Got any last words?
Peace.
Yeah, I got some last words.
Any last words?
I have a couple.
Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between the people and the parrots. We live in an era where it's just one big echo chamber, where everybody knows what everybody knows. And so you can go to one place and you go to the other, and you can hear the same exact thing from two different people who are echoing something they heard from somebody else, just repeating it. And now you're caught up in the sauce of thinking, well, if he said it and he said it, it must be right. Look, you can't let the thoughts and ideas of a person who's not living your journey replace the experience that comes from and with traveling upon your path. Mistakes will be made, but authentic, original thoughts and experiences will be had. And learning how to share those without just creating little anecdotal things where people can just keep repeating it that's where you discover your truth, because when you tell your story, you have to retell your story, not like a comedian, not like somebody else said it, but your own story. That's when you learn how to recognize those who are actually sharing their story with you as well. Those are the people. The parrots, they're the ones who just really good at repeating some shit somebody else said. We're trying to do what somebody else did. It's like this world's an ocean, and we're all out here being pirates. They don't want to swashbuckle out here with us. They just want to land on somebody's shoulder and say they were there.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
DOD45. Thank you for joining in on yet another episode of the DOD45 Show. Please hit the subscribe or follow button so that you never miss an episode. You can even go one step further by leaving us a review on the YouTube stream or on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever it is that you stream our show from. You can find me at ArtByTai on all the socials or at ArtByTai.com. And if you'd like to follow the DOD45 Show on social media, we're at DOD45W on Instagram, or you can go over to our website at DOD45.com where you can shoot us an email, join our mailing list, and watch all of our past episodes. Consider joining us for a live chat on the YouTube premieres of episodes every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Peace.